Okay, let's get started. I'm going to make the Cricut Cutie off the mat so that you can see what that looks like. That's the easiest project, and I think it's the best beginner project. So first thing is we're going to find our image and type in, Cricut Cutie. And I've done quite a few off the mat projects by now, and they're all now simple. I promise you, if you stick with me, this is going to be easy peasy. All right, so we found the image. I do have access. It's, so it's part of it. So you click on it, and then what you want to do is you want to go to Insert Images. So here we have it. And I go straight over to the size, and for my height, I'm just going to do 30 inches. 30 inches is a great size for party decor because it's big, but not too big because you don't, these get exponentially harder as you get bigger. So it's not just like, oh, I go from 30 inches to 40 inches, no big deal. It's a lot more. But anyway, so let's see. First thing we're going to do is now that the image is the right size, and this was already down to 25% down here. Normally, I would imagine that your screen would be at 100%. So this is what it would look like. It's much more difficult to work with it at 100%. So let's decrease it to 25 the way we had it. And we're going to go to ungroup this. When you ungroup it, all the layers will move out. What we want to first deal with is just our background layers. So these are all the eyes. We'll just move them over. His arms or her arms, face and body, and the tongue. So here we're left with this background image, and this is the black outline that you're going to see. It also gives it structure, so although we want the outline, we kind of want the whole thing because we're going to be gluing or taping everything down to this one. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go to Shapes. You want a square, and let's just make this 11 by 11. So you can go over here, type in 11, tab, and you're good. I'm going to move this just over a little bit. Okay. And we want to cover this whole cutie with all these squares. So let's go to duplicate, and we'll put it right next to each other. And this is the reason why I'm doing 11 by 11 is because I'm actually going to use your position over here. You put in your X coordinate and your Y coordinate. So I'm going to make everything nice and even so I don't have to think about things. I'm going to move this position to 4 and Y to 4. And then this one I'm going to move to 15 and 4. And the reason why it's 15 is because this original one was at 4. 11 more inches would take you to 15. So now that I have these two, they're flushed next to each other, back to back. We don't want any gaps. I'm going to highlight both of them, and I'm just going to duplicate. And now I'll move this one down. And this one, if you get kind of in the general area, then you go to position. You don't really have to think about it because your X is already at 4.111. Then I just want 4. And this one's already at 15 point something. I just want it at 15. So I know my 4 squares now are all flushed together. This one, instead of doing 2 more squares down here, I think 1 square will be fine. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to bring it down, and yep, it all fits nicely. So let's make sure that this is in the right place though. So I'm going to do 9, 26, and now I'm all flushed. Now I want to see my cutie, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to scroll down, highlight it. So now that image is active, and then I'm going to go to Arrange, and I'm going to send it to the front. And the reason why I'm doing this is I just want to make sure that my pieces that are being cut makes sense. For instance, if I had it like, let's say like this, right? That means this antenna is going to be cut in. This little ball will be by itself. This one will be by itself. You kind of want these intricate pieces to be one piece. So if I move it all the way up here, in this square, I'm basically going to have a full antenna. It's going to be attached to the ear. So that looks good. This piece looks good. I just don't want a small little piece being cut. So I think this looks good in general. What you're going to do now is we're going to start slicing the pieces so that our Cricut machine can cut these pieces for us because it needs to be 11.5 by 11.5, or if you had the 12 by 24 cardstock, but you know, usually that's more expensive, so I do 12 by 12. So okay, what you're going to do is, if you remember, when you slice, you can only slice 2 pieces. Our Cricut Cutie is 1 piece, and each square is another piece. So we're going to be slicing this 1 square at a time. So I'm basically taking my arrow or my cursor, and I'm moving it like this. I want just this square, a portion of the cutie, so then I will take the whole cutie. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to slice. And so you see, now this piece is 9.5 by 6.6, which means my Cricut machine can cut it. All right, so now I'm going to slice this side of the antenna. And I'm going to move this over here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I truly am so bad at puzzles. I want to be able to recognize the pieces that I'm cutting and where they go. So if I do this, then later as I'm pulling the pieces out of my machine, I know what to do with them. All right, let's continue slicing. Now I'm going to slice this arm section. So I'm taking just that, slice, and here you go. Take this, slice, and then this piece, because everything else has been sliced, is a piece by itself. So now you have everything. All the slicing results we don't need, so we can just highlight and delete. Okay, so now we have the Cricut Cutie. We have this. Let's attack this. This by itself, the way it came is it's basically 9 inches across and 20 inches down. Which technically, if you had the 12 by 24 cardstock, you could do it, but we're not going to do that. We can't ungroup, so this was not grouped together. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you contouring. I had the Cricut machine for a long time and I didn't know how to use contour. So this is technically 3 pieces, right? This little triangle, the mouth area, and then the body. So that means it's 3 pieces. I'm going to want 3 copies of this. So we have the 1 copy, here's my 2nd copy, and duplicating my 3rd copy. And then this image is highlighted. We're going to go to contour, and basically let's hide all contours, and the body's left, right? So, and you can see it in this image here too. See, everything is grayed out. This one is left. So when I click on the X to get out of it, all that's left from this piece is just the body. And now it's perfect. It's basically 8 inches across and a little bit over 11 inches down. So this will fit on a 12 by 12 cardstock. So I'm going to move it over here. All right, second image. We now need to get the face and the triangle by itself. So let's go to contour. And you can hide all contours. You can do that. And let's do all of it but the triangle. So, whoa, did I not do that right? I didn't do that right, sorry. I basically hid everything. I hid none of it except for the triangle. That's what I meant to say. So we already have the body, so let's do that. And let's just highlight this. So now all we have left is the face. And now we want the triangle. And I'm going to show you a different way to do contouring here. So let's make this smaller so we can see the whole image. And you can just select everything that you want hidden. So all we have left is a triangle. And there you go. Okay. Now this one, the same thing. We want to separate the arms. Otherwise, you need to feed this cardstock 12 by 24 to make it work, right? So let's duplicate it because it's 2 pieces. And let's go to contour. And basically, I want 1 arm. So that's my left arm. I now want my right arm. Did I do that right? No, I didn't do that right. Contour. I want this arm. There we go. All right, so now I have the 2 arms aside, because if you can think about it, this now can be on one 12 by 12. And look, together Together, it's only 5 by 8. I still have a lot of my cardstock left. And this is kind of important if you're using glitter cardstock, which I highly recommend. It really makes the images pop, and you don't see the seams as much. So I like using glitter cardstock. It is more expensive, so I try to save as much as I can. Okay, so these are the arms. The mouth or the tongue is already good. All right, let's look at these eyes. This is sort of wasteful, right? So let's go to contour. So let's do this in 4 pieces. So we want 4, we already have 1, duplicate 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go to contour. Okay, hide all contours. So I got this first. Oops, but you know what? I need the little cutout, so I didn't contour correctly. I'll show you the image to show you what I'm talking about. So it got rid of everything, but I need this one to make it the right shape. See what I mean? So this is the left. Let's do the next piece. And for this one, I'm just going to show you here. It's a lot easier. We're going to hide all contours. We already have this one. Let's do this eye. There. All right, so we got the second eye. Now we have just the 2 pieces left, the 2 little circles. So let's go over here. Oh my. All right, hide all contours. We want that one. All right, so we have, oops, I took too many pieces. I don't want this. Okay, so here's my one. Now I have just one more left. Contour. I'm going to hide all contours. I want this one. There we go. Okay, so now all these pieces are separate. And let's slice this one instead. So let's insert a square. And we're going to slice out our pieces one at a time. Okay, so now we have this. All right, so now we have, okay, so now you have all of that. My daughter needs to go poo. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do this final piece, and I'll show you why it's important, because these pieces are big. Try to minimize the amount of cardstock that we use. So that's why I'm doing that. So now the eyes are separate, okay? So let's go, let's save this first. So Cutie, 30 inches. It's all saved. And let's go to make it. All right, so see the eyes? I'm going to move this over. So technically for my glitter cardstock, I'm doing what, 5 inches by 9. So you have the rest of it for later. All right, let's look at our black images. Everything looks good here. I don't know if we can save any there, but we can save with the eyes. The eyes can fit on another one. So let's click on the image, go here to the dots, and let's move to another mat. And this one has a lot of space. So see, I can put an eye, ooh, maybe not, there. So you gotta move both pieces, but now it fits. I think this eye can fit somewhere else. We'll click on it, move to another mat, and let's see what other mat. Let's do the other antenna. I think they'll fit perfectly there. Okay, good. So now our black is down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets. Our tongue is what it is. But our arms we can move together. So let's move this arm to the next page. Move to another mat. We'll join it with the other arm. Okay. And I'm going to move it like this. I mean, it's going to depend on the cardstock that you have, but you could do it like that. All right, that's better than nothing. Okay, so now it's on one mat. This is going to have to be by itself. There's no way I can do that. But these two green pieces right here can go on one page. So let's move this to the other mat, to my other green mat. And there you have it. Let's see, that's kind of big. All right, so there you have it. You go to make it, and then I'll show you pictures of how to piece it together. Thanks for joining. I'm going to make harder ones, but if you have any requests, send it over. I will show you how to do it in Design Space. And then the cutting part obviously is just the machine cutting it, and then afterwards you're just piecing it all together and taping the back so it's all one piece. Alrighty, thanks for the journey. Bye guys.